How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And before we get started, I want to say happy Thanksgiving to all of my YouTube family south of the border in the United States. I hope that you're having a good one. So today we're going to be talking about CEI, Camber Energy. Of course, it showed some strength on the Wednesday, and we want to see if this strength can continue on the Friday. Keep in mind, we do have a short day, so I want to make sure I put this video out so you're prepared going into tomorrow. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in a bearish case scenario and as well as in a bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. The reason why the short interest is important, it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know what is the buying and as well as the selling behavior like on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for CEI Camber Energy. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $1.37, being up 2.24%. On the low, it tested $1.25, and then on the high, testing $1.39. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 43.229 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 92.824 million shares. So we did have below average volume on the day, but we still saw some strength inside of the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is right at 51.53, so right there in the middle. And then when we take a look at the moving averages here on the chart, you can see we are below the 50-day. We did finish above the 21-day EMA as well as for the 100-day and the 200-day. So what we have here is consolidation happening for Camber. Now, like I talked about in the previous videos, if you were thinking about getting in with an entry, especially with the momentum that we have been seeing as of late, it would have been in that $1.20 range, most preferably in the lower areas or in the mid areas. So we ended up actually using that as an area of support right here at $1.25. Of course, this is why we were able to make a strong move going to $1.39. So in a bullish case scenario, we want to see Camber actually get above all the way over here to $1.53. If it's able to get above the $1.53, this is where I was talking about, we can make that move to $1.60. I do see this being an area of resistance, especially right at this 50-day at $1.63. So that is one thing that you're going to want to keep in mind. And I feel like a lot of traders would jump into the play if we end up having some price action above $1.50. So keep an eye on those levels. And as far as support is concerned, again, you just want to see a continuation of Camber holding up the $1.20 area. And if it decides to pull back even more, than the next level where you could see some strength would be right here around $1.15. So now you have a good idea of where you might want to have your stop losses and so forth and the type of move that you're looking for out of this trade. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for CEI. So as we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So what we could see here, looking at the most recent filings for November the 24th, we have Advanced Series Trust that purchased 3,432 shares. We also have Advanced Series Trust ASTT Row Price Growth that purchased 45,400 shares. We also have POMIX T Row Price Total Equity Market Index Fund that purchased 252,000 shares. And we also have PEXMEX T Row Price Extended Equity Market Index Fund that purchased just over 92,000 shares as well. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 38.72%, and then for the dark pool short volume being just over 9.35 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 1 million, updated 4 minutes ago, and then for the short vol free rate, it is at 4.72%. Now, when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the 23rd, it was as high as 55.37. And now we could see for the 24th, which was yesterday, being at 38.72. So what this tells us right away, that is a significant decrease in the short volume. But one thing that is still clear, Camber does continue to have short squeeze potential since it still fulfills that criteria of 21% or higher, and it's why I say you want to keep this play on your watch list if you are interested. So now let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for CEI. So we can see here on the inflow, it was at 9,899, and then on the outflow is at 8,486. So we ended up having an inflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown on the large, it was at 3,727. Then on the medium, it was 4,703. And then on the small, it was 1,468. When we take a look at the outflow side on the large, it was at 3,027. On the medium, it was at 4,208. And then on the small, it was at 1,252. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you could see for November the 24th, which was the Wednesday that just passed, it being that inflow of 700.27. When we take a look at the breakdown even more, we could see on the small scale side, which represents the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling. When we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the large, which we just saw, we had more buying than we had selling, which potentially could represent institutions loading up on shares. Now, when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it is at 16.25%. No surprises there because we know there are a lot of traders that are going in and out of this play, and this contributes to the overall volatility. And when you combine that alongside with the short interest, you're going to have numbers looking like this. This also does show there are also people who are holding on to their shares as well, but do know this stock is heavily traded. So now let's jump into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for CEI Camber Energy, you want to see it move above $1.53. If it is able to do this, then of course you want to look forward to that move going to $1.60. Within these areas, I could feel a lot of traders wanting to come into the play and more volume can push the price up. And the reason being is because when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it still continues to have short squeeze potential. So this is why buying pressure is essential and why I say you want to have a strategy. You want to have a game plan. You just don't want to go inside the stock and buying blindly. So doing your homework and doing your due diligence and being aware of the volatility and the price action is so important so you don't end up being a bag holder. One of the things I was talking about in previous videos, yes, this stock is well known for having dips in the early sessions. So maybe you might want to wait and see what that dip actually looks like. And if it's breaking through key levels like we talk about on this channel, then maybe it's just not a high quality trade to actually pursue. I also know many of you also buy shares and you hold as well. You want to go with an investment approach. Again, understandable. I would not be investing in this stock in regards for investment purposes. I'm just saying that for myself, but do keep in mind this is extremely volatile. There's a lot of traders and you need to be able to stomach the overall volatility. If this is something that you feel that you may not be able to handle, then don't get into the play at all. Save yourself the mental stress. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and we'll be talking real soon.